The item in this box should have been a really quick and easy run-of-the-mill purchase, but somehow the item in this box turned into a full-blown 2-week saga. I've shopped with Louis Vuitton for several years. I like to think that I generally know what I'm doing. I've also been shopping with the same sales associate for the past 4 years. So we know each other. This is certainly not our first rodeo together, but this item has definitely put the two of us on a break. This is quite a ride, so buckle up. This whole saga started in mid-February. A friend and I were planning to get together for a shopping day. We wanted to stop in Louis Vuitton, specifically on March 20th, because that was the launch day of the denim collection. Yes, it is an item from the denim collection in this box. I texted my sales associate and I asked if he would be working that day. He said yes. And since I knew I wanted this small item, I pre-ordered it just to make sure that one would be held for me and I could pick it up in the store that day. Fast forward to March 20th. I get to the store. Another employee who's working walks up to me, greets me. I said, I'm looking for this person. I had an appointment to come in and see them at 11. So the other person's like, no problem. Let me go and see if I can find them. I'm browsing. A minute later, the other employee comes back and says, I'm so sorry. He's not scheduled to come in until 11:30 today. Already being stood up on my appointment. And if that was the only thing that went wrong, I would have overlooked it because look, mistakes happen. Unfortunately, that was only the beginning and things just went from bad to worse. So I tell the other employee I had placed a pre-order and while I'm waiting, could I at least see my pre-order? Could I, get the item? He's like, sure, no problem. Let me go in the back and get that for you. A few minutes later, the person comes back and says, I'm so sorry, but we don't have your pre-order. The reason they told me is because the store had not actually received this item yet. I found out that afternoon they hadn't placed my order because I could see on my account that afternoon they actually placed the order for me and it was pending validation. So they just didn't place my order. I was planning on shopping in store that day and I did. I looked at sunglasses, but none of them really worked for me. I'm really picky with my sunglasses. I also looked at shoes. I wanted to try on the sneakerinas in all burgundy. But of course, they didn't have my size, so that was a bust. At that point, my friend and I just left the store. Unfortunately, like I said, this was just the beginning. So 2 days later on Sunday, I get a notification that my item was in store ready to pick up. I texted my SA. I said, hi, I saw this item's in store. Can you ship it to me? I just needed to pay the sales tax difference because I live in a different state than the store. So he's like, let me send you over a link for the sales tax and then I'll send it to you. Fine. The day goes by, I don't get a link. Tuesday comes and goes. Wednesday comes and goes, no response. Thursday, the sales associate finally sends me the link to pay the sales tax, and Friday, 5 business days later, this item is shipped out to me. I get the package the next day. I can immediately see when I open up the box that I need to send it back and get an exchange because the item is defective. I'm like so annoyed at this point. I was stood up. My pre-order wasn't placed. It took 5 business days to finally ship a package to me. And when I get it, it's defective. I'm like so done at this point. And that's the part that's so annoying about this is they had the item in store. Someone physically had this item in their hands. You can clearly see this item is defective. The seam on the side of the zipper, it's not in a straight line and the zipper is wobbly. I'm not accepting wonky stitching and zippers. Not at this price point. And this is the part that's really awkward. After the first item was shipped to me, I had pre-ordered some items from the upcoming Mother's Day collection from a different sales associate. So I knew when I returned this item, my sales associate would see in the system that I had pre-ordered and worked with a different sales associate, which is like kind of awkward. Once they received the item in store, all my interactions from that point on with my sales associate were very, very brief and succinct. That was it. I've had no other contact with my sales associate since then. Let me show you what they sent me. So this is take two. This was sent to me from another store because they didn't have it in my local store. So here we go. The box is a little warped because this was sent to me from California. And you know what's in here at this point. It is the Speedy Trousse in blue. So, you know, she's looking good. Can we focus? Here we go. She's looking good. Let's move on to the debrief now and how this thing went so wrong and what I should have done differently to get better service. There's one crucial thing that I did not take into account, and that's the fact that I really haven't shopped. I have my notes here in the past year. So here we have everything I purchased in 2025. In January, I got the Speedy 20 from the Murakami collaboration. I also got this in January as well. This is a small bag charm, the monogram flowers. I do get asked about this occasionally. It's been discontinued. They don't make this anymore. Then I purchased the key pouch small when this came out. In March, I got the mini vanity, again from the Murakami collaboration. And my last purchase of 2025 was the Elle perfume, which I absolutely love this. This was released at the end of April, and I think I bought it in early March. And the perfume was my last purchase 11 months prior. I had not shopped with my sales associate in 11 months. And listen, if you're not buying things from your sales associate, if you are not a regular, reliable client, if you're not buying anything in a year, your sales associate is going to move on. And if you want to go back and shop with your sales associate, be prepared to spend. You need to let them know you are ready to shop. And that was one of the big mistakes I made when I contacted my sales associate. I just said I wanted to come in the store to shop. I knew I wanted to look at sunglasses, I wanted to look at shoes, and I wanted to look at ready to wear. I failed to mention that to my sales associate. And this is another misconception a lot of people have about luxury shopping, because right now sales are down. Luxury brands just posted their sales for the last quarter, and across the board, sales are down. They're not good. And there's a misconception, I think, with clients that because sales are down, the SA should just be catering to anyone who walks in the door. Like, you guys aren't making a lot of sales right now. I have money to spend. Come cater to me. But it is the exact opposite effect. For example, let's say you walk into a fine dining restaurant. This is a high-end fancy restaurant. You get a table in the middle of dinner service. You take up a whole table in a waiter's section, and all you order is a cocktail. And then you wonder why the sales associate is annoyed at you. Well, because you're in a very expensive restaurant. You order one thing, the cheapest thing on the menu, and even though that one thing is very expensive for what it is, it's still the cheapest item on the menu. Same applies to luxury shopping. Be respectful of your sales advisor's time. Do not request an appointment just to buy a single item. And if you are requesting an appointment, be very explicit, very specific. I want to look at XYZ. Make sure it's a few items. Let them know maybe what categories you want to shop so they know that you are serious about spending money with them. Honestly, if I could have done it again, I wouldn't have even pre-ordered the Speedy Trousse from my sales advisor. It's honestly just not worth it, and you're not going to get good service asking for a little small item here and there. And I completely understand not everyone is going in luxury shopping that often or spending a huge amount of money. There's a lot of other more important things going on in the world right now. So I totally get that, but don't then go to your sales advisor expecting top of the line service and having them cater to you for one small leather good or one small accessory. It's just not going to happen. These are the things that I think we really need to keep in mind going forward with luxury shopping this year. And I would love to know if you have anything else to add to this list. Number one, this obviously goes in any situation, but just be polite. As much as you want a pleasant shopping experience, your sales advisor also wants a pleasant shopping experience from you. The second thing to keep in mind is do not be a time waster. I think this is so important. Time is money. It takes just as much time for an appointment to have one person buy a single bag charm as it does an appointment to sell someone a single watch that costs $10,000. Number three, if you can, be a regular, reliable client. That's going to look a little bit different for everybody. I know most people aren't going into the luxury shops every month to spend money, but I would say at least once a quarter, like once every 3 months. If you want to keep that sales associate relationship and you want a sales associate specifically, if you're like me where you wander off, you shop with different brands, it's been a year since you've gone into the store, do not expect much from your sales associate. A lot of long-term clients think, I've been shopping with the brand for 10, 20 plus years. That has to mean something. And I'm here to tell you in 2026, that doesn't mean anything anymore unless you are shopping regularly now in the present. And again, if you have anything else to add to this list, feel free to comment below. Or if you've had any other experiences like this, I would love to know, especially what you've learned from those experiences. Please just do not name drop in the comments. I don't want to shout out or call out any specific sales associates or even any specific stores for that matter. So try to keep it relatively anonymous if you are sharing a personal shopping experience. Hopefully this video helped you. As always, I'll leave another video up here for you to watch next, and I'll see you in the next one.